All right, this is for Johnny Oleski. All right. Johnny Oleski asked for evidence to investigate Scott Shellenberger. I'm shorty. I got sole proprietorship. Nobody can sign my checks, none of that. I was locked up in another state. James Hammond, Jake Davis, Duran Battle, Darlene Davis, Gerald Davis Jr. committed fraud and forgery. They converted my property and they converted my business while I was locked up. Nobody should have wrote checks. That store should have been closed. By law, that store should have never been open because I was incarcerated. I'm the owner. Nobody had a work permit. Nobody signed nothing. No taxes was paid. We went from $260,000 to nothing in 2008, and I won a federal and a state audit. Fran Cott and the IRS. The state of Maryland participated in the fraud. You accept forged checks while I was out of state. Shellenberger knew this. Shellenberger filed false charges on more than one occasion. He also charged me with the murder of Scott Greenberg. So I want Shellenberger fully investigated, just like Nafong and the Duke lacrosse team. He lied to the grand jury. He presented false evidence to the grand jury to protect and enrich himself in his position of power. You right here, buddy. That's John Cardins. He got this. Like I said, I'm homeless. John Cardins got this. Conway got this. And this is the case that you got to deal with now. I'm the defendant here. I'm the victim here. You feel me? This case right here is going to expose everything and everybody. Johnny Oleski, you said you wanted evidence? I'll put the evidence on your board. You can go right to Al Redmer and get my insurance complaint. All right? You can go to the county council because they received this in 2000. They received it in March. They've been sitting on this for the longest. Kamenetz had this and been shielding it. Because if you investigate, a lot of the Democrats is going to jail. Rosenstein had this. Y'all gonna go to jail. I was making a movie about your Democratic Party and your machine. Stop and frisk and zero tolerance. The 13th Amendment. You feel me? Not only was I making a movie, I was feeding y'all. I was showing the corruption in your courts. Sheriff Fisher can't produce an eviction notice. I served Sheriff Fisher with some papers. You feel me? The county council. I was showing the corruption in your council. Y'all had property on Falls Road and Padonia Road where y'all had 25 houses that y'all was just supposed to put in the neighborhood. The developer paid y'all off so y'all could put in 50 more houses. It's close to 75 houses there. The developer has been paying y'all off. It's called a play-to-play politics in Baltimore County. Councilman Quirt, Vicky Allman, Julian Jones, David Marks, Bevins, y'all know about this. I turned y'all in. And Oleski asked for evidence. I got the evidence. It's right here. It's all right here. Y'all got victims' rights. I got victims' rights. I got a right to a jury trial. I got a right to face my accusers. I got a right to testify in front of the grand jury. And y'all got to take these charges. You feel me? Y'all got to take these charges. Y'all locked me up for this TV in this toilet. The TV was exposing the role that the media played in this misinformation. It also showed about Congressman Cummings. You feel me? Y'all took a truck from me. All right? Y'all took a truck from me. If you admit it and you refunded the money that you took from the truck, you got to pay me for the truck. The truck was worth $6,000. The contents of the truck was worth $54 million. It was evidence for a lawsuit. You feel me? Right here, it says right there, Shellenberger should have done this in 2008. He was shielding the corruption. There it goes right there. Dear ma'am, Mr. Davis. You feel me? The Country Ridge store. They wrote a lease and I was in jail. So if you wrote a lease and you did all this, then give me an audit. Give me an audit. It's the criminalization of poverty. You took my truck. You charged me for it. You put me out of business. You feel me? You put me out of business. So I went back into business. I changed the name, but I'm still Shorty. And I want everything that belongs to me. You feel me? I got the grill, and the grill is Big Addy on wheels. I own the grill, and I own the truck. But you still owe me for the truck that you took from me. That's a $6,000 truck. I built myself back up because I'm homeless now. I'm homeless because of y'all. But just because I'm homeless don't mean I'm going to stop doing what I'm going to do. The state of Maryland Oleski, the state of Maryland participated in this fraud. These are all the people that support me. Because I had to reshoot the footage that y'all took from me in 2011. Pastor Dante Hickman. And you can go straight to the Department of Justice, Mr. Oleski, and get my case file from the Department of Justice. You can go to Mosby's office and get my case file because she's been shielding the corruption. Like I said, not only Shellenberger, you're going to have to send Shellenberger, Bernstein, and Mosby to jail because y'all protecting the corruption in the court. All right? A criminal provision. All right? Article 4. That's the Constitution. The toilet was evidence and artwork. The toilet is evidence and artwork for a film about your government. That's T.J. Smith. He knew about it. Y'all signed this. Y'all signed it and it was about y'all. It's Baltimore Rewired. Kamenetz and Oleski. It's The Wire. I don't have to change nobody's name. I'm going to expose the corruption and the racism in your courts. I'm going to show you the role that you played in my illegal incarceration. I'm going to show the role that you played in my illegal incarceration. I'm going to show the evidence that you had. Like I said, y'all said I can go to the grand jury. Under Senate Bill 374, I can go in front of the grand jury. We're going to take all this evidence in front of the grand jury. We're going to have your wife prosecuted. Prosecutorial abuses of her power. Congressman Cummings, the Democratic Party, y'all getting ready to take a big hit. Y'all getting ready to take a big hit. This toilet was evidence for a federal investigation. This toilet was clearly marked evidence for a $54 million lawsuit. That videotape was the video exposing Shellenberger. That phone was a 911 calls I made when y'all threatened my life. That's Kelly Lynn from WJZ. That's her husband over there to the left. And he was giving them insider information on stock tips. You feel me? On the toilet, it had the public officials. It had Richard Sher. It had Lamont Hill. You feel me? It had WJZ. It had Cal Ripken and my producer, Rob Fix. It had WJZ, Vic Carter. Because y'all knew about this. I was making $260,000 a year. That's my store. All right? That's my store. I was making $260,000 a year. And that's the money I had when I went to jail in December. All right? Bank card, deposits. If I was in jail and I had this money in, then why was the store still making money? I was locked up. So why was the store still making money? You emptied my bank account. Then you locked me up again here in Maryland to keep me from... That toilet got me locked up again. That toilet was about this case. And it clearly marked evidence. City Hall, Shellenberger. Shellenberger was on the toilet. You feel me? Letters designed. The toilet ain't nothing but a prop for the movie. You feel me? Like I said, I'm homeless now because of y'all. But just because I'm homeless don't mean I'm going to stop doing what I'm doing. I work at the Corinthians. I've been here for 15 years. So tomorrow we feeding the homeless. For Christmas Day, we feeding the homeless. I asked for Martin Luther King's job on February the 2nd. That's what y'all locked me up for. February the 2nd, I asked for Martin Luther King's job. You feel me? It was about the prison industry and mass incarceration. It was about the war on drugs, stop and frisk, and zero tolerance. Y'all got mad because I gave you the ass family, the smart ass. Y'all hated the smart ass, the wise ass. I ain't a lazy ass, and I am not a kiss ass or a dumb ass. But I beat your ass. So tomorrow, like I said, I'm feeding the homeless. Just because I'm homeless, this is what I'm giving to the homeless community. You feel me? This is what I'm giving to the homeless community tomorrow. See what time it is? I'm getting ready to get the grill fired up. I don't want no misunderstandings about nothing that I do, none of my intentions. Johnny Oleski said if I get evidence that he will investigate Scott Shellenberger. I got the evidence. I got more evidence than he could stand. I got more evidence than he could stand. Commode Emotion. It was a movie about your prison industry. All right? It was a movie about your prison industry. You want to talk about Donald Trump? No, we're going to talk about Scott Shellenberger. You're going to start taking care of the business here in Maryland instead of going after Washington, D.C. Because you tied to this too. You was Senator Frost when I turned in Shellenberger. So when y'all had the 2019 sessions, anytime Shellenberger testifies, I'm going to testify right behind Shellenberger to dispute whatever he claims that he's standing for. Shellenberger going to be disbarred. And I'm going to publicly embarrass Shellenberger for the next 365 days. I'm going to give you justice. And it ain't going to just be us. I'm going to give you Black history. I'm going to give you Frederick Douglass. I'm going to give you Harriet Tubman. I'm going to give you Billie Holiday. Most of all, I'm going to give you Thurgood Marshall. Shellenberger going to be disbarred just like the Duke lacrosse team. If you don't prosecute Shellenberger like the Duke lacrosse team because he lied to the grand jury, he presented false evidence to the grand jury, he used it to enrich himself politically and financially. Scott Shellenberger said bomb. I can't go into the state capitol and holler fire, ain't no fire. I put that toilet out there and said it was evidence. Scott Shellenberger said bomb. Scott Shellenberger need to go to jail. Scott Shellenberger broke the law. Do your job or lose your job. Because 2019, I'm relentless.